the most licensed agents on their team always wins. That's just how it works, right? So future agency net license bonus, remember this. Remember this, if you hit, you make your first $1,000 in your first 60 days, you get paid another $200, right? Where else have you ever gotten paid to get paid? It's crazy, right? So do the right things, go get paid, make your first $1,000 and get paid even more to do it, right? So these individuals that have people on their team that are taking their exam this week, guys, it's hugely important that we help all of our agents pass that exam, right? We get them on that meeting to get that scheduled and get them pushed through, right? So these are the states as well to focus on getting people licensed, right? Because these are the states where it's the cheapest, easiest, and the quickest, as well as the simplest. So these are the states we should be focusing on building, right? The 5 F's, everyone knows the fulfillment formula: faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun, the building blocks and the areas that you need to focus on if you truly want to live an exceptional life. Write down faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. Ask yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, where would you rate yourself in each of those areas and where can you improve the most, right? This is the builder's promotion, right? What it takes to get promoted. Take a screenshot. Everyone should be running and gunning for at least senior associate, if not marketing director. I think everyone here can get marketing director, no problem, if you just know the right things to do, right? And then these are the producer promotions. So even if you're not building, right, you can still get promoted. You can get to that higher contract, so you can get paid more for helping families, right? You can get paid more for helping families. Who doesn't want to get paid more, right? As well as our senior marketing director contract, a 70% contract. 70% contract, not more than 50% can come from just one sale. That means you need to go out there and actually help families versus just getting lucky, right? So go make sure to help a whole lot of families and go and hit that. That's a huge deal, by the way. It's a huge deal getting that 70% contract, right? But what is a qualified appointment? Everyone should know: macho, 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 right? Macho, 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 macho. Take a screenshot of these. Know what the building numbers are: 10, 6, 3, 1. 10 new business partners, 6 will get fully licensed, 3 will hit net license, and you got 1 guaranteed new CFT on your team. Who doesn't want more CFTs on their team, right? These are the top products. Keep it simple: IUL, FI, Term LB, and Ethos Term and Final Expense, right? Take a picture so you can learn about the products. It's really not that complicated, right? I think a lot of the time we overcomplicate. There's so many different things that we can do. It's very, very simple: burgers, shakes, and fries, you guys, right? But the 5 focuses for builders: Rita, Lita, Net Lita, Ethos, and FIAs. Take a picture, make it your screensaver, focus on the right things if you truly want to build an exceptional business. This is some recommended reading. If you haven't read these books, I highly recommend you do. Anyone, at least in our base, should have their system progression tracker with the resources in there. They should have those books in there, right? So I highly recommend you read those. And maybe you're not a huge reader. One, that's something you should work on. But 2, maybe you're just driving, or maybe you're working out. You like to listen to something, listen to podcasts, fill your mind with the right thing. Those are some exceptional podcasts. This is the book of the month. You guys, I love this book. I'm on like my 4th time going through it. I got it. It was on sale on Audible for like $4, and I was like, dude, that's a steal, because the value in here is insane, right? No amount of money could purchase the value in that book, right? But the movie of the month, The Founder with Michael Keaton, guys, make sure to watch this movie. It's about, well, Michael Keaton is, I forgot his name, but the guy who really built and scaled McDonald's, right, to the system that they have now. But Momentum Monday and Crusade Thursday, everyone knows, right? We're obviously on Crusade Thursday right now, so you know about it. But if your people aren't on, mobilize and get your people on. You don't want to miss out. Tonight is going to be exceptional. I really, really, truly mean that. And of course, we've got our Wednesday phone zones. Make sure to log into those. That's where we really get after it. That's when we all hold each other accountable, push each other, and do some outreach so that we can make a difference. We can make an impact. Feed the calendar. We also run CFT in progress. If you say, I want to get independent, but I don't know how, well, you should be attending all of those meetings, because that's what's going to get you there, right? That and a little bit of hard work, a little bit of elbow grease. We've also got the Fast Start School. Make sure your people are getting on this, any of your new agents. So take a picture of these. Separation Saturday as well. Make sure to be on Separation Saturday. That's where all the winners are, right? It's separation season, and then Separation Saturday and separation season, that's where the real winners are, right? That's where the real winners are. But our leadership events, you guys, I am only standing in front of you because of how exceptional the events that Anthony and Monica throw for us are, right? So very, very grateful for just the in-person environment that's been built, and having such amazing, incredible coaches in this business that just pour into us. Not everyone does that. Not every coach in this business, not everybody does that. And so the fact that they do this kind of stuff and they pour into us the way that they do, and this was us in Cabo, that was exceptional. It was a hierarchy, such a fun trip. Guys, never, ever miss a retreat. Never miss a retreat. You never know. It could just be something life changing for you and your family, and that could impact generations to come, right? So, this is the standard. So huge shout out to everyone that's already completed the standard for licensed agents. If you haven't hit it yet, lock in, right? We still have a few more days. We can still make it happen. Let's run and gun in between Christmas and New Year's, right? Everyone just says, oh, I'll wait till next year. But let's be known for sprinting right now and building a stronger foundation and more momentum than anybody else going into this next year, right? So that we can continue to excel. But the leaders bulletin for Ethos is such an incredible and powerful tool. No wonder Torin is winning the way he is. He says, I've got the tool. I might as well utilize it, right? And he's helping families left, right, and center with Ethos, which is such a big deal. And these are the individuals who are submitting rollovers. Guys, FIAs, rollovers, that's a huge deal because that's just protecting people's money that they've been working so hard for a long time for. And you have the ability to help them roll over and protect that money and get paid to do it. And here are the top financial professionals on the team getting recognized for having great persistency. So shout out to Sean Perry, right? Because I know Sean Perry is crushing it. And all that means, guys, persistency is the business that you write and the families you help, that's staying on the books. So this is just a great indicator of seeing that these people are writing really, really good business and they're truly putting the client's needs above anything else. So shout out to the individuals on there with high persistency. That's a huge deal. CFT standard, right? I don't see anyone on here. I don't know if maybe this isn't updated or if maybe we're just not getting after it the way that we should be, but every one of us should be on there for the standard of excellence. And huge shout out to the individuals in the fourth quarter who have qualified for F7F squad and next wave. This is a big deal, guys, right? This is a huge deal. If you don't have an F7F squad backpack, right, you might want to push to get up there on the F7F squad, get that backpack, or at least get the closer's pen for next wave. Guys, we are at almost 1.4 million points as a team. 1.4 million points as a team. I know we're shooting for 2.5, and I know we're going to knock that out of the park, right? Because there was a couple months in the very, very beginning, we're getting things taken care of. So I know in the next couple months, we're going to get that knocked out very soon in the next 30 days, But guys, dominate December. Like I said, I don't think this is updated, but we need to push harder than ever before the year ends. We need to push harder than ever before the month ends. And I know that we're a fourth quarter team, right? We're performing all the time, but we're a fourth quarter team. I know that we can crush it. We can get after it. There's still a few more days. If you haven't either qualified for your jacket or if you haven't qualified to attend the Utah trip, which is going to be the biggest and best retreat this team, this company, the industry has ever seen, right? It's not too late to qualify. I know it's going to be exceptional. I heard of some people that are going to be there that you do not want to miss. So guys, if you're not already qualified to be there, if your name is not already on here to be there in Park City, Utah, hitting the slopes, then you got to do whatever it takes to make sure that you can be there, right? Must have 85% persistency, right? So do good business and never stop doing the right things. But you guys, Crusade Thursday guest speaker. I'm gonna turn it over, but I do just want to say some amazing things. This man, Eric Carter, is exceptional, right? If you've never been tubing behind this guy's boat, you've never tubed in your life, right? You can ask Torin about that, but I'm just gonna say he's also incredibly wise. He also just has so much value to give to this team. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna turn it over. I'm gonna make sure I'm taking lots of notes as we all should be. Let's all get our cameras on, but first, I'm going to turn it over to our exceptional, our amazing mentor. We all call him Coach, the man, the myth, the legend, the father of four. He keeps saying five, right? And this guy always does whatever he says he's going to do, right? So he says five. Prior professional boxer, prior Marine, right? So I just want to say very, very grateful for the leadership that we have. And Coach, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. So if you're there, Anthony Franco, are you there, Coach?
All right, all right, all right. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Let's go, champions. Come on now. Great evening, great evening, great evening. What's up, everybody? How we doing? We all doing good? We doing good. We doing great. We fired up. We blessed to be here. I don't know about you, but I'm blessed. I'm not stressed. I'm anointed. I'm not disappointed. I'm fired up, and I'm super excited. We have an amazing call tonight. I'm telling you, you're gonna get you're gonna get something special. Okay, call it the 2-for-1 special. The 2-for-1 special, right? So you're gonna get some wisdom of experience, right? Who has a lot of years in this industry, in this business, and have seen things that we've never seen. And then we're going to get maybe some new school experience as well. Call it a double whammy. Call it a double whammy. We're going to make it happen, and I'm just super fired up for tonight. But hey, do me a favor. If you're blessed in the chat, put it in the chat. If you're blessed, put it in the chat. If you're blessed, put it in the chat. What are you grateful for? You got to be thinking that Christmas just happened. I know, obviously, I'm not here to put any type of, I'm not trying to force our beliefs on anybody here, but, we're a faith-based company. We don't run away from it. Okay, I'm so blessed. And I was talking to my wife, and I'm not going to make this long. I was talking to my wife this last night on our way driving to our family for Christmas, and it was awesome. If you guys didn't know, this is GFI-wide, and everybody can be invited, not just only GFI, anybody. Every Thursday morning, we do a prayer and we do a Bible study from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. Anybody's invited. And I know I had a great conversation with Pastor Lavoie. Pastor Lavoie was under John Maxwell, by the way, for 25 years as a pastor. And so I've learned a lot, and we're talking about the Bible today. But point is, we're reading Psalms, and I just wanted to say this quickly. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have a relationship with my God. I don't know where I'd be if I wasn't able to communicate intimately with my Father in heaven. And I was even talking to my wife. I said, you can take the money away. You can take the business away. You can take all the material things away. This is crazy, but you can take my kids away. If I don't have a relationship with my Father and I can't get intimate, I have nothing. And the fact that his son suffered in extreme suffering, and his Father turned his back on his son for our sins, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. So you don't have to believe that if you don't want to, but I believe it. I believe it. I'm so grateful, and I think this team is anointed. I think if you're on this call, you're here for a reason. I think you're on here for a reason. So I'm super excited to go over some great things. Again, before we get on this call and get it bumping, I want to go over a couple things really quickly. But hey, who wants to hear a dad joke? Who wants to hear a dad joke? I got some good ones. Who wants to, right? Hey, I heard if you laugh, you smile. I heard if you smile, you're just a little bit more sexier. I'm just saying. I don't know about you guys, but I believe if we're the sexiest team, like everyone, what's your secret? Why are you guys the number one bass shop? Because we're the sexiest team. I'm just saying, all right? All right. Hey, I got some dad jokes. So if they're funny, make sure you laugh. If they're not funny, pretend you're laughing. Sound good? Just tell your cheeks to touch your ears. Tell your cheeks, that's it. No big deal. All right, here we go. Hey. So I have a couple. Just curious. So do you know why you never see elephants hiding in a tree? It's because they're so good at it. All right. I got a couple of them. Just curious. Which days of the week are strongest? Saturday and Sunday. The rest are weekdays. Come on now. Come on now. All right, got a couple more. Almost done. Okay. I was literally, studying some stuff with my 2-year-old. He's trying to learn, and we're trying to teach him different things. So it was crazy. Like, we were reading a horror story in Braille. And I literally looked at him, and I looked at my wife. I said, something's bad going to happen. She's like, what do you mean? I said, I don't know. I can just feel it. You guys, these are good ones. All right, almost done. Hey, what has 5 toes and isn't your foot? My foot. All right, this is the last one. Oh, these are good, right? These are good. Hey, Don't get me started on the Yo Mama jokes now. I'm just kidding. Hey, what's blue and not very heavy? Light blue. Come on now. Get it together, guys. Get it together. All right. Well, hey, I got two very, 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 very special promotions I want to go ahead and take the time to recognize really quickly. I'm just so blessed for these individuals, and I'm just so proud of them. You know, they've earned it. They've done it the right way. And that's my favorite part, when people earn it and they do it the right way. So if you guys can do me a huge favor, okay, clap onto these champions like you would want to be clapped onto, because they've earned it. They deserve it. And I don't know about you, as a leader, my favorite thing ever is P&P. My favorite thing ever is P&P. My favorite thing ever is P&P. I love seeing my guys and my girls get paid and promoted. I love seeing them getting paid and promoted. Who loves seeing people get paid and promoted? Anybody? Put a 10 in the chat if you're next to get paid and promoted. Put a 10 in the chat if you're next to get paid and promoted. If you guys can do me a huge favor, okay, clap it on to these individuals, because they've earned it. They've been busting it. Can we please clap it up for my man, 50 grand Mr. Roberto Jimenez and Daniel Loving for their senior social promotion. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go.
We just sent the contracts over today, baby, and we got one more. Can we give a huge shout out to the newest senior marketing director, Jay and Trey Manuel? Let's go. Boom, 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 baby. Bang, bang, bang. Paid and promoted. That's what Future Base Shop's all about. The #1 agency in the world. We get people paid and promoted. Come on now. All right. All right. Sorry, family. I know there's some guests on this call, but hey, I got to recognize where it's due, because they've earned it, and I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of their family, so proud of their kids, and that's what this business is all about, seeing other people win, okay? By the way, I see some winners on the call. I see my guy Tony Center. I remember when we started this thing, we met in Cabo. I see my main man Terry King. That dude's a king. That dude's a king. That dude's a stud. I want to learn from that guy. But there's just so many great individuals on. But I'm going to bring the man and the myth. And I remember everyone used to talk about this guy all the time back in the Prax company. You know, it's funny. I never even met him really or built a relationship with him until GFI started. And slowly, like in Puerto Rico, I got a ride with him in his truck. And then we just started slowly at Cabo, got to hang out, and just slowly built a relationship. And I'm just always been hungry to learn from him, because I just know he's a wealth of knowledge. And, you know, if you guys didn't know this, because some of you guys don't, right, our founder, right, our CEO of GFI, the GOAT, Eric Olson, none of this would have happened without this gentleman, Eric Carter. Eric Carter recruited Eric Olson. Talk about recruiting giants. Talk about recruiting giants. Okay, we'll maybe talk about that briefly here. But I can say about all the accolades. I can talk about all the great things that Eric's done. Eric runs a multi-million-dollar business. He's been in this industry for years. It's one thing to just make a couple mil in the business. It's one thing to always and consistently keep making a mil and growing. And I think one thing I'm proud of is he has so much experience. He's a seasoned professional. He's an SVP in GFI. And the fact that he was able to leave the practice company, he has probably the highest compliance of any professional I've ever seen, and still have the faith in what we're going to do here at GFI. Just know there's a reason logically why you should go to GFI. There's a reason logically why everyone left to come to GFI, and one of the big reasons because of this gentleman. I'm proud of the man I'm introducing. I'm blessed to call him a brother, a GOAT, a legend as well. Great husband, great father. Can you guys do me a big favor? Can we please help me clap it up for my man, 50 grand, Mr. Eric Carter? Let's go, Eric. You on the call?
That is awesome, Anthony. I appreciate you. Appreciate this team. Appreciate the trust that Anthony and his leaders are giving me to talk in front of you guys. I'm never going to jeopardize that trust. You can count on that. I will definitely be forthright. I'm not politically correct. I'll make sure that you stay in business. I've been licensed. Get this, you guys. I got licensed in November of 1999. Some of you guys weren't even born then. That kind of freaks me out a little bit. That's all right. I'm young at heart, no doubt about it. I got a little 1-year-old on the other side of the wall, got a little 7-year-old on the other side of the wall. But this business is a fountain of youth. Ain't that right, Dr. Robert York? It's a fountain of youth, man, and it excites me. I don't have to do this anymore. Anthony's well on his way to not having to do this anymore. But Anthony, I'm sure you agree. I mean, the juice is teaching others how to do what we do and be able to achieve what we achieved. That's the juice. That's having a purpose-driven life. All right. And that's what Eric Olson has done. That's what Matthew Welsh has done. All right. And it is a fantastic business to be in. Anthony told a little bit about where this all came from. I grew up here in the Bay Area, living here right now as well. I've bounced around a couple places over the last 25 years, but and Seattle, one of those places. I love Seattle, but it's good to be back home here in the Bay. And I grew up with a dad who actually had a small trucking business. And as a business owner, he was able to show me, the differences and the freedom, okay, Hannah Walker, on being an employee versus being a business owner. And there's a huge difference, okay? Now, the thing is, he wasn't Bill Gates by any means, but that little trucking company afforded him tremendous amount of freedom after he built it. Okay, he was able to walk away from his company and still ran whether he was there or not. That's the kind of business that you want to build here, that you could actually build something that it will still run with or without you. You want to be recruiting leaders so your business runs with or without you. Now, I told Anthony this, and a couple of you guys don't know this. Tonight, you're going to get the best out of me, because tomorrow I'm going underneath arthroscopic knee surgery, and I'll be out for 3 or 4 days. Okay. And those 3 or 4 days, I guarantee you, I'm going to have leaders still doing their business. Okay. So I'll be making my personal income, my personal pen, my personal recruits, but I have leaders on this call, especially as well, that and aren't on this call, that will still be running their business, and I'll still get an override whether I'm there or not. And then, almost the whole month of November, I was sick, just wasn't 100%. I was misdiagnosed for the longest time, and I just thought it was an old football injury, and partially it was. I ended up having gout for almost all of November. And then when I finally got properly diagnosed, I got the heavy duty anti-inflammatory meds, got off the gout. But then the gout, as Timothy may know, attacks the ligaments in your legs. Well, I had an old knee injury from 32 years ago that the doctor's like, well, if you're NBA or NFL, we would operate, but since you're only 17, we're going to let it go. It's just going to remind you every once in a while you should be fine. Well, that gout attacked those ligaments, and the doctors are thinking maybe it might be partially detached. So they got to go in and scope it and find out first, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But in the meantime, me recuperating, going through all that, me recuperating, I'll still have teammates and leaders out there making it happen, regardless if, even though. And you'll see me on a call here very, very soon. I might be doped up a little bit, but I'll be on. So good stuff. New computer, who's this? I've been a little exposed here for the past 3 years. Tony Central will tell you, you've only been able to see like right here. So the back wall looked like I had a whole bunch of stuff on it, but there's nothing on top. Okay, so I got a big sign ordered up, but I got a new computer. And Anthony, this I think will definitely impress. Hold on, look at this here. Look at this here. Ooh, I got a desk camera. And man, I could draw out right here. I love Anthony Franco. Well, not in that way, of course. But I love GFI. All right, so very much well worth the money spent on this new Mac. So yeah, that is wow. I love it. So new computer. Who's this? I'll get a new sign. I got my
Recording in progress.
I'm fired up. All right. Good stuff, you guys. Well, hey, Anthony talked about it a little bit there. I been licensed for 25 years, and about 21 years ago or so, we did a small little daytime BPM, And this young woman came in. She's like 18, 19 years old. I remember, I think, yeah, 19 years old. And she originally wanted to sit down and learn about maybe getting on board our company. I said, okay, great. You're a little on the younger side. Um, but we'll see about giving you a chance, no problem. And in the middle of sitting down and trying to recruit her, telling her what's going on, giving her the standards, all these other things, she goes, well, I don't think this is for me. Oh, I'm going to start my timer here so I don't go too far here. Hold on. Start. Okay. Um, I'm like, oh, okay, a little bit weird, but in the middle of the interview, she decides she doesn't want to do it. But before I let her go and takes big notes on this, I said, well, before you go, because I don't like putting ads in newspapers. You never know what you're going to get. I don't like putting ads online. This is before online ads, by the way. I don't like doing that. I want to get quality referrals from people that I think are trustworthy, and you seem like you're trustworthy. Who's the top 3 people that you think might be pretty good at something like this? I'm looking for leaders. And she goes, oh, my boyfriend would just be perfect with this. Oh, okay. My boyfriend, his mom, this other guy. Okay, great. Tell me about your boyfriend. Is he good people? Oh, yeah, he's really good people. Okay, great. Good people. All right. You said he has leadership skills? Oh, yeah. Great leadership skills. Oh, okay. All right. Competitive? Oh, beyond competitive. This guy is a nut. Okay. I'm like, oh, okay, competitive. What's his number? And I look down. I didn't say, can I have his number? Anthony, I said, give me his number. I'll write it down. Okay, 408. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. So I call this guy, and he's on. He picks up this before the iPhone. Everybody had flip phones, and nobody really text message. So most people picked up the phone. Okay, he picks up the phone. He's on the third baseline coaching his little brother's little league game. Okay, and I say, hey, my name's Eric. I was talking to your girlfriend, and she said some really good things about you. And based upon our expansion plans, based upon what your girlfriend tells me about you, I figure it makes sense to sit down and talk. Don't you agree? He goes, yeah. Okay, great. Well, based upon our expansion plans, based upon the qualities that your girlfriend said, she said you're competitive, you're good people, you have natural leadership skills. Those things true about you? Yeah. So okay, well, great. We have an open house overview BPM here tonight. It's invitation only. I gotta get a commitment you're gonna be here. I'll save you a seat. Can I get a commitment that you could be here tonight at 7:00 and dress sharp? Yeah. He came in that night and he brought 3 of his own guests. He didn't know what it was. He brought 3 of his own guests. Long story short, his name's Eric Olson. So Logan, make sure you get top 3s with every person you sit down with. And when you describe your top 3s, you want to describe that you are looking for leaders. You want to look for people who are motivated. Torin, we don't want to just bring in just warm bodies. We want to bring in leaders, people who are motivated, people who have credibility. Write down those descriptions. Leaders, motivated, credibility. Leaders, motivated, credibility. Okay? This isn't a clown show. All right? Clowns might make it. Most of them don't. All right? We want people who are motivated, okay? People who are leaders, people who have credibility. All right? And yeah, I mean, Matthew Welsh was 19. He had credibility. Look at him now. Mara Bayona was 19. Okay, he had credibility. Look where he is now. But then guess what? There were thousands of other 18 and 19-year-olds who had no credibility, and now they're gone. All right, so you don't want to build your business on exceptions. You want to build your business on the rule. Okay, and give everybody a chance. Don't get me wrong, but you got to make sure you do the takeaway. So that's a little bit right there. Okay, so let me go ahead and get to the information. I'm going to be going through it fast. Okay, I got 35 minutes with you. I want to make sure that we are doing our very best. I thought 35 minutes. Where did my timer go? On here. Hold on. I'll just do it on my phone here. Hold on. Okay. And I'll go through it fast. Okay, 30 minutes now.
Real quick, guys, here's a question while Carter's doing that. I want you guys to ask yourself a question. Imagine how many people, how many connections you missed out on because you didn't ask for a top 3 with every single person you meet with.
Right. That top 3, guys, now to get that top 3, I mean, without bragging or boasting, has probably affected 1 million people somehow, some way. Because Eric Olson has spoken in front of tens of thousands of people every year since I recruited him. So even people who joined that business and quit, or even people who didn't join that business but still saw Eric Olson, probably was affected some way, somehow, positively, and 1 million people has been affected in a positive way since then. So yeah, you never know. That butterfly effect is real, guys. That butterfly effect is really real. Okay, so what I'm going to talk to you guys here tonight is not theory. All right, it is not opinion. This is the real deal. But first of all, I want to tell you about my whys. All right. We have Mary Jane here, the lovely Mary Jane. We have Lizzie right here, seven-year-old Lizzie. We have 14-month-old Mason. He was helping out in the office one day. Okay, and now we can't keep him out of the drawers. He's just knocking on the drawers. Just yeah, it's crazy. He's everywhere. All right. This is my humble abode here in Livermore, California, in the Bay Area, and it's a little over $2 million for this home. Not bragging or boasting. I know you guys could get like a gigantic ranch in Texas, but I get hot really easy. I am hot blooded. I like San Diego weather and I like the Bay Area weather, and so the location is fantastic for Mary Jane and her family. But we got that, and then we got my toy here, this TRX. Whew, this is a lot of fun. Okay, this is a $100,000 pickup that has 702 horsepower, Logan, and I get lots of looks. It was pretty funny because I'm getting all these looks from these guys, and I'm going, hey, the guys on the other team kind of checking me out. All right, that's not my team, right? They're kind of checking me out. That's kind of cool. I'm feeling pretty good. Meanwhile, it's just a bunch of straight guys giving me thumbs up about my pickup truck. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. But hey, this business is a lot of fun if you're doing it right. Okay. In 25 years, I haven't had an alarm clock other than to take a quick flight to Hawaii or the Virgin Islands here pretty soon. It's a blast, you guys. It's a blast, and you need to have motivation. You need to have discipline. You need to make sure you're doing it right. That way, you stay in the business. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about here tonight. So make sure you take quick screenshots, and we're going over some stuff here that's going to absolutely change your business for the better if you follow the instructions. Okay. And Anthony and I spoke earlier this afternoon, and this was right up his alley. Some of my guys, well, all my guys should see this already, but this will be good review. And then afterwards, I want to talk to Anthony about what the heck you guys are doing when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to ethos, when it comes to building, when it comes to tap rooting. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to learn. Okay. Anthony's like, oh, he's just Eric Carr, the legend. I want to learn what Anthony's doing. So never be too big to where you can't be taught by other people. All right. Even Eric Olson is taught by Anthony. Even Eric Olson is taught by Eric Carter. Get yourself in a position. Terry Kings, teaches Eric Olson. Get yourself to where you're in a position to where you teach Eric Olson something. Then you'll be on his radar. All right. That's definitely a pointer right there. All right. All right. So the business that pays, the business stays. Okay. How to keep business on the books. There's my cell phone. All right. For those of you who don't already know, don't try to call me. I will not answer. Right, Anthony? I mean, the phone's constantly ringing. Send me a text. If you try to call, I'm not going to answer. And even leave a voice message, I'm probably not going to listen to it because we literally got thousands of calls on top of all the car warranty calls, and the IRS, is going to put you in jail calls, all that stuff. So text me. Even if you have an Android, I might get it, but text me. All right, and we'll be good to go. Just kidding about I lost 4 of you who still have Androids, but I'm just kidding. Not really. Okay, so here we are. Oh, and there's my Instagram, eric.carter.ceo, and the link tree. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. I think I put up some pretty okay stuff. But yeah, it's a really, really fun to be on business media, like one of you guys was talking about. All right, make it business media. Keep it clean. Get the old party stuff out. If you have old party stuff, maybe make a separate one. I don't want to see you in your Speedos, Victor Rodriguez. I really don't want to see you in Speedos. I don't want to see you, dance on the tables. You look like maybe one of those guys from way back when, maybe the Vegas, maybe do a business media, a personal media, and business media. But, yeah. And a couple of you guys, yeah, you were behind my boat on Lake Shasta. A couple of you guys actually won. I had a bet. I had a $500 bet that if anybody could stay on, they would get $500 Apple Pay from me. And that boat was not running properly, Logan. It was not. I know it. It was missing. I forget who rode with me back to the marina the next morning, and it was missing. There was a spark plug that was not hidden right. It was missing. I knew it. I'm gonna get you next to double or nothing, Logan. Gonna get you next time, pal. All right, good stuff. So here we go. First things first, you want to try your best to stay in the right market. Okay? You want to try to stay in the right market. The first one is 30 years or older. Why 30 years or older? Because they have more goals. If you're under 30, that's fine. I was under 30 when I first started. All right. So I was an exception also. This is just more of the rule. People who are in a long-term relationship or married. Okay. For those of us who are in a long-term relationship or married, we know we have different goals, don't we? We have different things. We're trying to create something. People who have kids. Okay. If you don't have kids yet, okay, that's fine. I didn't have kids when I first started, but now I do. It's a whole different mindset, okay, on what you're trying to build. Especially here in the West Coast, maybe even the East Coast, a lot of places, $100,000 a year combined annual income. All right, because they got to be able to afford the products that we have. And like it or not, politically correct or not, on the West Coast, it's really tough to be able to live directly on the coast. I'm not talking about inland valleys and all that stuff where it might be a little bit cheaper. I'm talking about directly on the West Coast. If you're not making 100 grand in San Diego County or the Bay Area or LA County, man, it's tough. A combined household income. In Seattle as well. My Seattle folks will tell you. It's tough anywhere along the coast. The farther inland you go, it's maybe a little bit less, but strive for $100,000. And then you want to focus on people who have integrity and respect. That way they can give you quality referrals. That way you could possibly recruit quality people. All right. Now, when I first started, I was not 30. I think I was 24. All right. I was married at the time. All right. My first marriage. I didn't have kids. I made about 75 grand a year. All right, which back in 1998, 2000 was actually not bad. All right, how crazy is it, Anthony, that I made 75,000 a year driving truck for Chevron in 1997, 1998, and those same truck drivers are making maybe 80 grand a year now today, 26 years later. Okay, so income's been very stagnant for the past 35 years, 30 years. Meanwhile, things around us cost so much more. So the answer is making more money, not complaining about it. The answer is making more money. How do you make more money? By being in the right business. That's it. Okay. End of class. Make more money by being in the right business and doing the right things in that business. All right. And stay in business.
Carter, real quick, because this is important. Everyone look at this. Stay lit. No BS. This is how we get better. No BS. Put right now in the chat how many people that you have active, licensed in that market that fit that description. Put in the chat. I just want to see, just to open your guys' eyes.
See? So yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of you who have some, a bunch who have a lot, a bunch who have zero. All right. And I'm going to tell you now, this is not to say that we are going to ignore the people who aren't in that market. I'm not saying that at all. We want to help everybody. Okay. And I'm going to give you some pointers on how to help everybody and how to help everybody keep things on the books too. Okay. Because we want to help the single mom with a term insurance policy. She's 23. All right. We want to help the elderly person with the final expense policy. They're 82. Right. We want to make sure we're doing things right. But this is that's kind of market you want to try to focus on and get as many as you can. Because I wasn't 30. I didn't have this. I didn't have this. I had this. Right? I had integrity even when I was 24, 25. All right. So I didn't have all of them, but I had a good number of them. There's some people that don't have any of these. Okay. You want to try to concentrate and get at least one or two out of those. And that way you have a better chance of keeping them. Okay. If you're constantly in the wrong market, Anthony knows this, it's an identity issue. He and I were talking about that earlier. Raise your identity through self-development and hanging around the right people. Okay. I can't emphasize that enough. As a person growing up, I knew already I want to hang out there with the right people. It's just maybe it's how I grew up with my dad. Maybe the kind of people I hung out with playing football, whatever it is. Okay. I make sure to hang around the right people. And then that doesn't mean that I discriminated against people, way back when, for those of you who are 45, 50 years old. Remember we call them the stoner guys? You know, they had the jean jacket and the Metallica and the AC/DC on it. I was one of those guys. I had the jacket and all that stuff, but I didn't smoke cigarettes. I didn't do drugs. I didn't drink. I like those bands, right? So I was one of those guys. But I knew to stay away from the bad guys in that group too. There's good guys and there's bad guys. All right. So, control your associations and hang around the right people and raise your identity through the books that you're told to read. Okay. Those books aren't recommendations. Those books like, hey, if you want to succeed, you need to do this. That's it. All right. You want to be field underwriter. You as a professional have to be able to judge whether they're able to get a policy based upon age, height, habits, occupation, etc. All right. So if they're an underwater welder and they're 500 pounds and they're 72 years old, they're not going to be able to get a policy, maybe a final expense if they're lucky. Okay. So you want to make sure you're doing 100% trial applications. End of story, period. All right. The next one I always did is I automatically assumed that the client will actually be able to do half of the monthly amount they say they can. So if they say I could do 1,000 a month, I'm automatically calculating, Logan, okay, they could probably do 500. Okay. They need to prove to me that they could do more than that. All right. So I'd much rather have them keep a $500 a month policy than lose a $1,000 a month policy. I'd much rather have them keep a $80 term versus a $300 IUL. Okay. Because Daniel Loving, it is, we are life insurance agents. We need to protect that family. Okay. And so you got to make sure you're being a field underwriter. And if getting them a term is going to be the best thing for them in their budget, then by golly, give them a term. It's $80 versus 300. But I'd much rather have that client keep 80 than lose a 300. All right. Keep that persistency high, folks. And we'll talk about even more ways to keep persistency high. This is one of the things I tell the client, take a screenshot because I can running out of time here. Mr. Client, this life insurance policy strategy is going to protect your family and your retirement future for the rest of your life. This policy needs to be something long-term commitment from you. This monthly amount from you needs to be something you can keep up with even if times get tough financially. So Anthony Franco, if you were to have a gap of income 2 or 3 months, are you 100% sure that you can commit this monthly amount? Well, okay. Well, let's not start off with 3,000 a month, Anthony. Let's go ahead and start off with 1,000 instead. You can increase it anytime. Okay, so do the takeaway, you guys. Victor Rodriguez, if you do the takeaway and you set that standard, I'd much rather have you keep $1,000 a month than lose a $3,000 a month. I'd much rather have you keep a $300 a month than lose an $800 a month. All right? This will help you and our company stay off of Google, the Google geniuses out there. All right? And the thing is, Anthony heard it as well. They heard the same thing from Marty Schaefer. If persistency is not good enough, they will, number one, take you off of advanced commissions. And if it persists, they'll actually terminate you. Okay? So we've got to make sure we keep things on the books. Next up, how to keep new recruits and their policies. Okay, we have such a thing called internal consumption. All right, you can't sell shoes barefoot. You can't sell Mercedes if you drive up to the Mercedes dealership in the BMW. All right, it just doesn't work, does it? All right. Now it's not required for somebody to become a client, but if it's in their budget and if it's suitable for them, why not? Right. So as a new associate coming in, part of them learning how to do what we do is actually having what we have. All right. Whatever fits them the best. Okay. So that's a big deal. That's a big part of it. But we got to make sure that they keep those on the books too. So this is what I do and say to new associates to keep their policies on the books. Hey, you know what? I know you're going to be one of the top leaders in GFI in no time. I know you'll be recruiting the most people ever. I know you'll be a better speaker than Paul Hart. I know you'll be breaking all of Eric Olson's records. But life happens sometimes, doesn't it? I know you'll be here with GFI for a long time, Logan. But just in case life happens, you decide to go a different direction, can you dedicate to yourself, your family, and your wealth strategy that you'll be keeping this policy even if you're no longer with GFI? Because Victor, unless you can make that commitment to me, bro, I really don't want to extend this strategy to you and all the benefits come with it. Take a screenshot. Put this in your vocabulary. Put this in your presentation. Okay. Let me just say this. It doesn't reduce the flakes. It doesn't eliminate the flakes, but it reduces the flakes. That's the goal. Okay. Because we recruit flakes sometimes. They get a policy. Somebody tells them no, they quit, they cancel their policy, and nobody's helped, and you get charged back. Okay. We don't want that. All right. So this will help reduce the flake factor. Okay. So take a screenshot. Gotta hurry here. All right. The best salespeople I know are straight shooters. They don't play games. They tell it like it is. They don't exaggerate or leave out information. They know how to get the job done without manipulations and tricks. Grant Cardone. Okay. We are in a very highly regulated industry, very highly regulated business. We got to make sure that we are forthright on how these things work. We got to make sure that we're forthright in what exactly they are. Okay. So there's some people out there that try to, label things differently to try to market. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so here we go. Call and label the IUL and whole life as they are. They're IUL or whole life, period. Index, universal life, whole life. Terms of 7702 plan, infinite bank, family bank, tax retirement should not be used to rename the policies. But, Logan, you could use language such as works like or similar to. Okay, so Victor Rodriguez, man, this thing here works similar to like your own infinite bank. Okay, it works like your own bank. It works similar to like your own family bank, Alexis. Okay, I don't call it a family bank. I don't call it infinite bank. I don't call it 7702 or tax retirement. Okay, I said it could be used for those things. It could work similar to those things. Big difference, you guys. Okay, because you don't want people coming back and say, hey, I thought this thing was infinite bank. I didn't know it was whole life. And they get all pissed off and they cancel the policy. That's not cool at all either. Okay, so you guys take a screenshot of this. This will help you stay in business, by the way. The regulators are coming down on people who market these things only as the different labels. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. All right. Here we go. Inform your clients of their responsibilities and structure the policy correctly. You want to avoid being target focused. Be maximum value for the client focused. Now, Logan, sometimes I get the question, well, how do I structure the policy and get a good commission target? Well, you stay in the right market. Your targets will explode. Okay? Because folks, if you're writing up a 23-year-old with an IUL, which I recommend, you're probably not going to get the target if they're doing $300 a month. I mean, you're going to have to get them like $1 million or $2 million policy, and it doesn't suit them. Just try to get a bigger target. Don't do it. Because they're just underfunding the policy and they have a bunch of zeros in the net cash value. It's not good for the client. And that's when they go on Google. That's when they actually go to their mom and dad. And mom and dad try to come after you. Okay. So write those people up, but don't try to go for the target. Go for the minimum amount of insurance, maximum amount of value. Okay. And do increasing insurance. That way their insurance coverage continues to grow for them. That bucket builds bigger. But guess what? I went up to Washington 2 days ago, on the 23rd. I flew up to Washington on a last minute flight. Had a fantastic dinner with my teammates there. And then that night I went up to a client who's not very tech savvy. And long story short, he is 49 years old. Okay. And it's going to be 211,000 points. All minimums, minimum insurance. Okay. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and get 400,000 points, but that wouldn't have served the client very well. But because he's 49 years old, the targets were really high with minimums, and he wins out, I win out, the company wins out. It's all good. Okay. So stay in the right markets, and you'll get some good targets. All right. A property structure, property funded policy, in my opinion, it's unbeatable. So, Logan, it's my job as your trusted agent to structure the policy correctly. It's your responsibility as the owner to properly fund the policy. This is not a short-term strategy. Long-term, as long as you fund the policy properly, it'll be the most powerful tools you ever have for your financial needs. Take a screenshot. Okay. This doesn't eliminate the flakes, but it reduces the flakes. Okay. I stay in constant communication. There are great apps you could use to stay on your phone, to stay in constant communication with your clients. Before the sale, confirm and get commitments. During underwriting, stay on top of it. Okay. Use your agent portals and email to stay on top of outstanding requirements. You know what's freaking crazy to me? I heard there's like 100 million points out there just floating around because people aren't following up on their business and getting it closed. Can you imagine that? So make sure as an agent, you're professional, or you have your assistant, okay, or your base shop coordinator, whoever you guys use, to stay on top of outstanding requirements and stay in communication after the approval. Deliver a policy, thank you note, gift, referrals. Don't be a phantom agent. Don't be a here today, gone tomorrow agent. Okay? Get after it. Stay on top of it. Be a professional. Okay? I communicate when the market goes way up. I send out a text message. The market goes way down. I communicate as well. I email or text articles showing positive news about the accounts they have. I send out books via Amazon that really back up what we say. I email, text, call just because. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, what have you. Once you get into referral business, okay? Once you get into referral business, Terry King will tell you, GFI becomes super easy and super fun. Sean Perry, once you get into referral business, it is a done deal. You don't have to try to keep on selling yourself every day when you're in the referral business. All right. Just today, I got a text message from a guy from one of my current clients. He's out in Wyoming. He says, hey, I heard you help my friend roll over his old 401k. I want to do the same thing. Cool. All right. I gave him a phone call. He said, yeah, I want to move forward. I want to get those guarantees that he was talking about. I want to be able to, like, okay. I didn't have to sell me. I didn't have to sell GFI. I didn't have to sell American Equity. Like, yeah, sure. Give me some vitals here. Give me some numbers, and I'll work on it. And I'll send out an email. I got to send out an email here tonight, by the way. Okay. So easy. And it's $300,000. They'll pay me 16, 17,000 bucks. Referral business, baby. Okay. All right. Be a student of the business. This is a no-brainer. All right. Subscribe to get to Wall Street Journal. Subscribe to get some of these things. Okay. Stay away from the politics. Stay away from the religious stuff when you subscribe to these things. We want to be universal. Money is green. All right. But, become a student of the business. That way, Tim, you could actually have a conversation if it comes up. Okay. You gotta have a decent conversation, kind of know where your way around. All right. Know what your naysayers and competition say, and be able to ease your clients' objections or concerns. The Susie Orman, the Ramsey, the termites. Okay. I know how to overcome all those clowns. I hope you do too. If you don't know how yet, you want to make sure you learn. All right. And practice. Let them know how serious you are about keeping them as a long-term happy client. All right. Look them in the eyes. Be assertive. All right. Sean Perry, I appreciate the trust you've given me so far. I'm not going to let you down. You could count on me. Now look them in the eye, whether it's electronic or in person. I appreciate the trust you've extended to me so far. I'm not going to let you down. All right. Take a screenshot. Got to go. All right. Also, I got to ask him a favor. All right. So, is it Gerson Sorto? Okay. Mr. Klein, I'm excited about helping you protect your family, your wealth, your financial, whatever it is. But the only favor I ask, Jordan, is that you give me a commitment that this will be a permanent part of your of your financial strategy and goals. If you can't give me that commitment, I will be unable to offer this extremely valuable vehicle to you at this time. We can revisit maybe 6 months from now when you give me that commitment. Folks, if you don't get commitments for them to keep the policy, walk away. Walk away. If they don't give you a commitment, Victor, that they're going to keep it, walk away. Okay? Well, I got my buddy who's broke, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I know how to overcome that. If anybody tells you, Gary Emerson, different advice what I told you here today, before you take their advice, okay, please let me sit down with them. And I'll show them the numbers that you saw. Because I'm confident, Terry King, that if I were to show you those numbers, and I were to show them those numbers, they'll probably become my client too. Is that fair to ask? Take a screenshot. Let me just mention this here. I say this to every client, even my teammates who are on this call, who are my clients, heard me say this a gajillion times. Okay? Because we live amongst a bunch of know-it-alls, don't we? Raise your hand if you know what a know-it-all, by the way. In your family, your neighbors, your coworkers. If you're not raising your hand, Victor Rodriguez, I see you. You're probably the know-it-all in the family. Okay? So we all have know-it-alls. And everybody's trying to shoot arrows at the plan. They're trying to shoot arrows at you. Well, I heard this. Meanwhile, the guy doesn't have any money. He's living on grandma's couch. And your person's listening to the broke person tell them why they shouldn't do what you're telling them. So you got to make sure you get a commitment from them not to listen to anybody without talking to you first. Again, this doesn't eliminate the flakes, Sean Perry, but it reduces the flakes. And let me just say this. All right. And please forgive me. It's the only adjective really I know how to be able to say it right. You got to have the cojones to be able to say it. You got to be able to back it up. You got to be that professional. Okay. I mean, that's the only adjective I knew how to say it at the time. You got to have the guts to say it and back it up. Because if you don't say that means you don't have the guts, that means they're probably going to cancel on you sooner or later. By the way, when you say this, Anthony, when you say these things I'm teaching, okay, what does that tell them subconsciously? Man, this guy Anthony knows his stuff.